That'll actually be the first mental health evaluation in the state of Texas, so that's pretty good.
See.
The robots need a Zoran. I speak for the droids.
They say you have a face for radio.
Wow.
Well, I have a face for...
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sohile Ali Show, the only podcast hosted by a comedian. Guys, I'm very excited today to be joined by a very funny person, somebody that I've looked up to in the comedy scene, mainly because she's always towering over me. But it's a very funny person that maybe people know. If you're in Bloomington, you certainly know, but in and around comedy, you definitely know. And it's Deadpan Jan Gudaitis. Jan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sohile, for asking me to be on your podcast today. It's the first time I'm on a podcast that's videotaped.
All right.
Yeah, usually
we got you.
I'm one that's just audio.
Yeah.
And, they say you have a face for radio.
Wow.
Well, I have a face for a podcast.
That's right. You got a face for a video podcast.
Maybe
yeah.
today.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get some viral clips out of this one. But by that, I mean a couple hundred. But I'm very excited today because we're gonna talk about some trending topics in the news. But I want people to support you. So guys, I'm gonna put Jan's social media, whatever you want to plug, in the description. She's very funny. Go check her out and support her because she's very funny. And I'm very happy to talk to her today. So Jan, welcome. And you want to just kick things off with a little trending topic?
Sure. What trending topics are you reading about or interested in now? So
I've written a bunch of things down here, and they're all over the place, as the show usually is. But what we do is we figure it out. We find maybe the humor in all of them, or just something funny about it. So anyway, the first headline here I have is Liver King. The Liver King, some might remember. Liver King influencer arrested in Texas after threatening Joe Rogan. Yeah.
That's amazing. Until I saw this headline, you shared it with me before the podcast. I'm afraid I never heard of the Liver King.
You didn't hear of Liver King?
No, there's
good for you.
I've heard of the Queen Bee, and things like that. And
something happened to Queen Bee this weekend too. We can talk about it. I didn't get it sent to you, but yeah.
But anyway, Liver King. So I looked him up, and he's just such a handsome guy. I don't know. That must be why he has 3 million followers.
Yes.
I'm doing something wrong because I have 400. But he has so many followers, and people are following him because of his lifestyle.
Yes.
And his lifestyle choices.
Yeah. And now they're going to be following him to find out if he gets arrested or if he gets convicted or not. I didn't look into what the threat was or whatever, but to me it was so ironic in a way almost, because I feel like Joe Rogan certainly does the carnivore thing, I'm sure, from time to time, and like Liver King, that's his whole thing. It felt like too close. It felt like it felt like two positive charges going at it. They can't do that. But I don't know.
I think he threatened to beat him up.
Okay.
And he felt that maybe Joe Rogan would win, but he was still wanting to fight him. I'm not sure exactly.
See.
They have different martial arts techniques. I think Joe Rogan has a black belt, and he does not. But he's either doing this for publicity, so he gets more followers.
Liver King has a black lung.
Or maybe he has a mental health issue.
Right.
Because that's what's happening in Texas. They're going to have him do a mental health evaluation on him now.
That's that'll actually be the first mental health evaluation in the state of Texas. So that's pretty good.
We'll see, but it's hard to know. Some people do things for publicity.
Right, exactly.
Or he may be really upset with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is pro-Trump. He was a supporter. But recently, he's gone against Trump on some of his policies.
Yes, yeah.
And so maybe being a MAGA supporter, Liver King, decided that Joe Rogan has gone too far.
Right.
Joe Rogan didn't think tariffs were a good idea.
Right.
He's against tariffs.
Yeah.
And also when they put all of the immigrant criminals in prison in Argentina and those really severe conditions, Joe Rogan spoke out against it.
Yeah,
He thought
absolutely.
It was inhumane.
Yeah.
And Liver King, may felt that, he went against Trump.
Yeah.
And he's, and that might be why he's threatening to beat him up.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
So Sohile, if somebody makes a threat against you, is it free speech? When does it end not being free speech? A mother will say to a kid, I'm gonna really, I'm gonna kill you if you do that again. But they may say that every day.
To her kid. Okay.
So it might be free speech saying it to somebody in your family.
Yeah.
But Liver King actually went to Austin, and he was close by.
Oh, he was? Oh, my God.
He was close by. He was near there.
Oh, my God.
And so then
probable cause.
the threat became maybe more real.
Right.
Because he traveled from wherever to actually be there to confront him, potentially, allegedly.
Bro is down bad.
Yeah,
he must
but
be.
When does a threat, is it free speech? When is a threat free speech? And when should you be arrested for just threatening somebody, either with humor or seriously? Can you make statements? Is that a criminal offense to threaten somebody verbally?
How big are they? No, I feel like if they take actions, like, I don't know, some say if they, if you're out and about and someone steps in your face, are they in a position to hurt you physically? Are they in a position to cause, what are they? I need a lawyer. I
don't know.
But
that's, I don't know either.
Right. So like really he coming to his neighborhood, or he coming to, at least in Austin. I don't know. It feels like he's trying to, he was asking for it. He was trying to meet maybe the terms, which does make me think that there's a reason we haven't heard the name. You have never heard Liver King before this story, but those of us who would follow this stuff, we went, oh my God, Liver King, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Right.
And that might be the whole reason anyway.
I saw there was a documentary about his lifestyle.
Yes.
And so that made him more famous.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even think this is not somebody who you ever go and look at in his diet and go, well, this is a well-adjusted individual. I'm sure he makes great decisions.
Well, and he's not, he's a little straggly looking, slightly straggly.
Is he?
Oh, I just saw one or two photos of him. Maybe those were his arrest photos. I don't know.
Check on his Liver King.
He was, but
I like that
It said that he was spending like $11,000 a month on performance enhancement drugs.
Oh boy!
And you and I are comics. I sure would like to find a drug that would enhance my performance on stage.
I think Robin Williams found that a long time ago.
I don't know what it is, but what?
It's a rope.
What Valium? I don't know. Speed. Drinking Red Bull. I don't know what. What
Red blood.
What would a performance enhancement drug for a comic to take? I'm sure some of them take them.
But you enjoy doing comedy. You're up there a long time. You've done long sets. You don't find yourself going, God, I could use a little more. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a whole new Jan. It's a whole different Jan up there.
To be able to interact more with the audience and take more risk with questioning.
Take more risk with questioning.
With the audience interaction. I do very little of that.
Well, that stuff is.
It's kind of hard to.
It's parlor stuff, right?
Some people
it's
are
just
really
tricks.
great at it.
It's fodder.
And it could be a random thing. You just ask the right person the right question, and can go and drift into amazing 10-5 minutes.
It's true. But, as I always say, it's like writing jokes, that's the hard part, right? Actually writing, because sometimes you get a crowd and they go, we don't want to talk, we want to listen. Right, and that's a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
Liver King.
King.
I'm gonna look up his documentary. When I have.
We'll follow
time after I finish watching the other 100 or so things I want to see.
Next time we have you on the show, you're just gonna be like all bicep and muscle and say, Jan, what happened? Well, I heard
steroids. He may be taking.
Yeah, that was the drug I took.
Right,
$11,000.
And maybe his legal defense would be, instead of the Twinkie defense, the steroid defense.
Wait, what's the Twinkie defense?
Somebody, I think, killed somebody and said they had a sugar high from Twinkies.
Did it work?
I don't think so. But I don't know if that was. I don't know if they killed somebody or they beat someone up. But there was a Twinkie defense.
Really?
So
That's
maybe
good.
there'll be a steroid defense.
Good.
That.
Wow.
Don't blame me. It was the drugs I was on.
That's really exactly. Yeah. The high clause.
Yeah, or your potassium defense. I won too many bananas
that day.
morning.
Your Honor, please. Right, you know how we all get.
Could be.
I had to kill him. He stole my banana bread.
People are using strange reasons for getting off on cases.
Yes, exactly. Getting off. And speaking of getting off of speaking of getting out of something, maybe we're going to maybe pivot here into a bit of a war, potentially a war, that has obviously been in the news the last week or so. So the headline here is Khomeini, the head of Iran, the leader, head guy. Khomeini says U.S. bombing of Iran, quote, did not achieve anything. To which I say, I think it achieved something. I think it made everybody wake up for a second. But any thoughts? This one we don't have to spend too much time because it's mostly politics and stuff.
Trump says it was devastating. It obliterated the atomic sites in Iran, and Khomeini says it didn't have any effect at all. So the question is, who's telling the truth or the most truth, and what is the consequence of people not telling the truth? If Trump isn't telling the truth, if you didn't obliterate the bombing sites and nothing happened, then it's still a big risk to our national security and everyone in the Middle East.
Certainly.
So who do you believe?
Yeah.
And, what do you think about that?
What do I think about it? I just think it's people posturing as the strong, like, I'm my parents from Afghanistan, obviously borders Iran, but if I may speak on the people in that area, we're very stubborn people. We're very prideful people. We will do everything to protect our very fragile egos, fragile as they are, but we'll try to protect them. So, I mean, he would probably say that even if it did destroy like half the country, he'd probably be like, it was a scratch, it was a flesh wound, we're fine. And it's like, dude, there's a lot going on there. But at the same time, I did see a headline article about some CIA expert, or like some expert said that it was not nearly as devastating as they thought. So go figure. But
so maybe there'll be a report that comes out. Maybe it'll be edited. Maybe it'll be truthful. Maybe it won't be truthful. We won't know. Will we ever know? Will we ever know?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the problems today is that, what's truthful and what's not truthful. And it isn't new because this happened in the Vietnam War too.
Right.
Where everything, they came out with Pentagon Papers.
Later that's
that
right.
Told about what happened in the Vietnam War. And maybe we'll find out soon, or maybe we'll find out later.
Yep. Yeah, Pentagon Papers. The only paper that gives you a paper cut from reading it.
And it doesn't explode in your face. Or should it?
Pentagon Papers. Are you recording this? This paper will self-destruct in 3. Wait a minute. What?
Like
2, 1.
Mission Impossible. Pentagon Papers. But I never read them. They're
the Pentagon Papers.
You can one day after you put watching the documentary of Tiger King on your list.
Let's go.
Put also on your to-do list.
The Pentagon Papers.
Read the Pentagon Papers.
It's on the list. It's on Netflix.
Right,
you just open it up.
You could
it's on the queue.
It, right.
It's everyone's trying to get to it. It's the hit of the summer. It's the feel-good hit of the summer.
Maybe it's on Audible that when
it is
you're
on
driving to a wedding one day. You can end up
listen to
the Pentagon Papers.
And who narrates it other than Attenborough?
He does?
He probably does. I don't know. Imagine that.
That's good to know.
In the wild, the CIA said, we do not concur. All right, great. Moving on. I think there's not much going on here, but it was just a fun headline. Things are happening in New York City. A young fella by the name of Zoran Mamdani is making headlines, and the headline for this story was young Muslims loved Zoran Mamdani, and their parents listened to them, which, as a first-generation Muslim, parents listening to us, it's a bit of a news thing to me. That's news to me.
He's
no,
young.
I'm just kidding. They listen.
So what is your perception of him? Are you happy that he's the leading candidate now as mayor for New York?
I'm not, and let me tell you why. Because here comes a guy, young guy, Muslim American guy, good looking, sharp, put the suit on. He's putting too much pressure on us young Muslim Americans in this country. Let me tell you, I just want to skate on by and look like a slob and contribute nothing to society. And he's going around going, look at what we can be mayor. I'm going, come on, man. You're making the rest of us look bad, dude.
Well, maybe he had so they have, this is different tangent, but they have studies that children perform in elementary schools. They depending upon the expectation of the teachers. If your teacher has high expectations for you and says you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, then they achieve higher test scores. And that a teacher who says, okay, here's your assignment, okay, you did a good job, doesn't really motivate them. Yeah. So he had people who really motivated him when he was younger.
In his schools.
You can do this, you can do this, you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, see, that's where we differ.
Jesse Jackson used to say, be somebody. You can be whoever you want to be. Do you know where he went to school, where his background is? I don't know.
No, I don't, because it makes me very insecure. No, I believe Cornell? Where did he go?
Did he?
Somewhere.
But anyway, he's a very...
Boy, what?
He has excellent communication skills.
I could have gone there.
Excellent.
Bowdoin.
He's a handsome guy, just like you, Sohile.
I know, Jen. He's making the rest of us look terrible.
So I could say you could be mayor of Bloomington one day, maybe.
I
don't know.
could be.
You could be a role model for.
And I will finish the job. No.
Other people, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what I was impressed about is that the man, Brad Lander, was a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
And said. It's a ranking. I read it's a ranking system in New York City for mayor. People get to choose and rank the top 5 candidates that they want to win. And Brad Lander, who's Jewish guy, said vote for both of us. That he
also endorsed him.
He also endorsed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
They were on the what show?
Was that with him on Colbert?
Yeah, he was.
That was the
Colbert.
two of them.
That was the two
that
of them
was
on
nice.
Colbert, right.
Yeah.
And Colbert says, "I'm not endorsing you at
right.
all, but I want you to switch chairs."
Right. Exactly.
They had 2 different things.
I saw that, and I thought it was interesting because he was like, We're just here to make sure no one votes for Cuomo."
Right.
Which I thought was great. Like, damn, that's the enemy of my bigger enemy is my friend.
Right. And so here was a Jewish person and a Muslim working together.
Yeah.
Not to have somebody who's, deemed allegedly that he's sexually harassed women that worked for him. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right. Oh, yeah.
He was asked to leave office, and now he's trying to get back in.
And now he's back, baby. He said, did they forget? Has it been long enough? Did they forget?
But, yeah. And so
I think they forgot.
I think Cuomo was a great communicator, too. He had his brother.
All those guys.
That stuff. They were very good.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know enough about New York politics, but I don't think Zoran's politics would work in the Midwest. I think he'll be more successful where it's a more liberal New York.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
So
and it's about, people making over $1 million, right? He's wanting to tax them,
right.
A little bit more.
But he's offered, his plank that he sat for his platform, we're going to have free bus transportation for everyone.
Yeah.
Free child care for everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to freeze all the rents in New York, so you can't have your rents increased.
Yeah.
And also, any slum landlords are going to be booted out of the system and forced to make repairs. So he's trying to lower the cost of living, improve housing.
Yep.
And he's a democratic socialist like Bernie Sanders. Right. And if you like Bernie Sanders, then you're going to like...
Then you're going to love Zoran.
You're going to like him. And maybe there's no money for any of his platform promises, but how is that different than Trump saying, hey, if you vote for me, you don't have to pay taxes on Social Security. If you vote for me, you don't have to pay taxes on tips. If you vote for me, you don't have to be taxed on your overtime.
Yeah.
Will any of those things come be, legislated? Will anyone really get those benefits?
No, he'll just say something he will not do, and then
for me,
do that.
If you're rich, you'll have cheaper taxes.
Yeah.
So
the difference is just a few generations. That's it.
And while Trump is taking away health care and cancer research and preschool and Medicare and a lot of benefits, NPR.
Yeah.
Things from people. Planned Parenthood, I think, was defunded last week in some states. They can defund Planned Parenthood now. So
But thank God we had a military parade.
But Zoran may be appealing to people because of his platform, of his charisma, and giving people hope.
Yeah, very charismatic. I mean, his mother's a filmmaker. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, she made a Monsoon Wedding. I want to make sure we get her name right.
Right. I don't know. I didn't know that. So anyway, but I think it's hopeful. He's giving people in New York hope. Maybe it's false hope. Maybe none of his platform ideas will come true. Maybe he won't be reelected. Maybe everyone will vote for the Republican. But maybe more people will register to vote. Maybe more youth will register to vote.
They did. Yep.
60% of the youth between 19 and maybe 18 and 29 of the males voted for Trump. The male Gen Zs voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll say, hey, he's going to help me get cheaper rent in New York. Give him a chance. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe not. But
it's funny. It's like a certain sect of wealth. Below a certain line is like the Trump guys, because he says, oh, this guy's awesome. He's going to change all of our... I don't care what it is. He's sticking it to the status quo. They like Trump. And then there's a certain above a certain line who also like Trump because their dads know him. So there's a certain sect. It's on both sides. So right here is just like the everyday guy, just any maybe younger person, male, female, whatever it is, everyday young person. And you said false hope, which is funny because I'm just like, all hope can be false hope. It's just hope is terrible.
But it's hopeful to
I
have
know.
Hope.
It is. It's hope. You have to have it. It's just a matter of what kind you have. And he's certainly a case of influencing and creating that hope at such a young age, such a young generation.
I think it's good. And I misspoke. It's 60% of non-college males
there you go.
that voted for Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody, just between
working
18 and I think 29.
So we're talking manual laborers, blue-collar jobs, and looking for... Talk about people who want some hope. I mean, they're looking at a system in a world that's seemingly... abandoned them, maybe forgotten about them. They are being told and taught, but so they will look to who's the top guy, who is seemingly the top guy. He's got gold hair and his name on buildings. That's pretty cool. So
and both Lander and Zoran, they are against Israeli bombing the Palestinians.
What a concept.
They're more pro-Palestinian.
Yeah.
And in terms of wanting to stop ceasefire there, plus bringing in food, starving a whole population of people, it's probably not the best interest of the world.
It's crazy you have to take that as a stance now.
How many
I just want to say I'm against starvation. I'm anti-starvation. That's like a stance you have to take now.
So, who isn't?
Right.
But why is that happening? And it kind of ties into the bombing in Iran. Why is there a ceasefire there in 14 days, but there's 2 years and there's no ceasefire in the Gaza Strip?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's just but Zoran brings hope.
Yes.
To even the people in Palestine, the Palestinian people, because he supports their cause as well.
We gotta have it. You gotta have it. And if you're living in New York, what do you forget about housing, man? That's the worst place to live. Okay, great. We can do maybe a couple more here. So, out on the street. So this is. I actually saw a picture that there was one of these. I don't know if you got it from the headline, but one of these robots out on the town in Bloomington. So anyway, people are talking about food delivery robots. So out on the streets, it's every food robot for itself. Waymo? No, that's the car. What's the food robot company?
I don't know.
There's like one big one. Amy? Anyway, there was a whole thing. It was just showing that like these food robot delivery vehicles are getting trampled over. They're getting flipped over. They need help. They have the thing on the screen. Please help me. I'm dying. You know, it's reversing. They're on trees, bushes. Anyway, it's a whole thing. There was a post. Someone saw one here in Bloomington. So maybe they're testing. But anyway, thoughts on food delivery robots?
I've never seen one, but I looked at the video since you shared that headline with me. And the closest I remember are like when I watched, is it Andor?
Sure, the Star Wars show.
Yeah, they have a little thing that looks like the food delivery truck, bringing stuff back and forth to
droid.
Different people, little droids.
Yeah.
And that was, I've never seen one in person, but, it's interesting if that's where our direction that we're going as a society. All the people who deliver Uber Eats will be out of a job.
Well,
and that'll, what are they going to do? The Grubhub, Uber Eats.
What they'll have to do is
can they do it in the winter? Can they do it?
Yeah,
in the ice?
Some snow tires on those boys.
Yeah,
my thing is, I feel bad. Obviously, I tip a delivery driver, right? I think most of us would tip a delivery driver. Do you tip a delivery robot?
I probably would not, because they can't look me in the eye.
Exactly. So what they got to do is they have to have a face now. They got to make a face like a guy who is down on his luck. They got bags under his eyes. Maybe he's got divorce papers on his hand. He's got maybe one of the wheels has got a little duct tape on it. They have to make these robots personal that we can look at them and go, oh my God, okay, fine, and then give them 20%.
Right. I don't know if they have a little face on it, a computer face, an avatar of some kind that communicates with you.
Exactly.
And then you feel sorry for the avatar because it starts crying. You do tip, and then you feel
starts crying.
Do I give 10%?
Opens
do I give
it
20%? Up. How are they going to use it? Are they going to use it for rent? How many children do they have?
Exactly.
To feed?
Exactly. There's kids. He has a phone. You can hear. It's all like a animatronic now. He has a phone that rings, and it's his kids. Right. And then he opens the thing, and he goes, oh, enjoy the Doritos. Yeah, Margaret used to love the Doritos, But I miss her every day. And then,
I can see this happening because during COVID, a lot of people started doing food deliveries, and they're still doing it.
Still doing it.
They're still having their grocery shopping done by someone else and bringing groceries and medicine and food deliveries. So I think it's a trend that's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless, you say, oh, well, there's going to be the unemployment rate's going to go so high if we stop all these people from delivering food.
Honestly,
these little boxes.
Because I need to have that person. I'll be honest. I think I need to have that person because I need to feel some shame with my delivery order. You understand? I can't, if I have the option to just get a robot and no one sees, it's over, Jan. It's over.
So what kind of delivery orders are you getting that you need
Jan,
to feel shameful about?
I will tell you, it is, I usually need something salty, something sweet, a drink, and usually something sour. Now, that usually equates to more than I spent that week on lunch. And with the delivery fee and the tip, because I can't look at the guy in the face, I need, for my own self, I need to be able to go down there and grab a bag from another human being and go, I'm sorry. I know. He saw it. I know it. We both know it. This isn't good. I need that shame because then I go back and I go, I'm never doing it again. I delete the apps. And then I wait a couple months and do it again. But if I have a robot there, Jan, I'm going to go, give me that thing, kick the can, and let him go. Who cares? No one saw it.
Who cares, right. But anyway, it's a trend that's going to continue to happen. I've never used one. I don't know if I would ever use one. I've never used Uber Eats or Grubhub.
Oh,
so
good for you. That's good.
We had pizza delivered, I think, when we were in COVID or something. We had stuff like that. But it's not like anymore. Not anymore. I need to get out of the house.
There needs to be a person there. We can't nowadays. You can do anything you want. You can get anything. You can get anything. And the only thing I think the one person you will see, the one person you'll see, will be that guy in the Toyota Camry, and
so here's a question:
you have to have that.
If one of those robots falls down the steps, do you think they have health insurance to cover that? They get workman's compensation.
I ain't paying for them. I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing.
It's like a workplace. OSHA has to start getting involved in workplace rules to prevent injuries for these little robots that are working in our society.
Blue Cross.
What if they get run over by a car?
Blue Origin.
And, can you get cited if you run over that?
Was it a hate crime? Maybe it was a hate crime, right?
So
what do you mean those things?
All these legal issues and the laws that are going to have to be written to protect them.
The robots need a Zoran. The robots need a representative to speak on behalf of them. I speak for the droids.
Do they have a union? A union
representative? Do they have a union?
Can they vote?
Windows, Microsoft.
Right. Can they vote? All these issues will come up
in
the future.
Can they vote? This is great.
Right.
AI,
this is good.
AI is asking the right questions, and we're just trying to make sure they're represented. So
it's kind of fun to think of what this could happen. But like in Andor, it's essential to their life there, and maybe it'll become essential to our lives here. For your kids and future generations.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell me about your future kids.
My kid will be delivered on a robot. Okay, he's gonna be.
I'm gonna just say we could have doctors that are
ship him to the house. Yeah. Y'all take care of that. I'll see him at home. The mail room is air conditioned. Right. Don't worry, we'll get him in there. Okay. Real quick, we'll run through these. Social Network Part 2 is in works at Sony. Aaron Sorkin will write and direct the sequel to the Oscar-winning film inspired by the Wall Street Journal's Facebook files. Thoughts?
I've never read the Facebook files. I know it's. I looked it up today.
Oh yeah.
It's based on the Senate hearings they had a few years ago, looking into Facebook and Instagram and other social media and what effect it has on our children.
Yeah.
How many suicides are committed because people are saying nasty things about you on Facebook. How all the videos are affecting the women's and young teenagers' images of themselves. Yeah. How is it increasing mental health issues in teenagers and stuff? And so it's doing that stuff.
So it sounds like a happy story.
But it sounds like a real happy story. But I was wondering before I looked into the Facebook files, I was wondering, who would they cast as Trump in it? If it was, if they did the other issues in Facebook, like when they asked Trump not to be part of banned him from Facebook.
Right, exactly.
Who would they cast in a movie? Hopefully Jesse Eisenberg would be in it, and who else would be in it?
Who would play Trump? Kevin
and
Farley. We'll get somebody, but that's funny.
That was where I went, and then the Winklevoss twins,
right,
the first one, who were stars, and
dude, they got into like NFT stuff. They got into a few other things.
They're in cryptocurrency, like Trump, and they're I think they're very, very wealthy right now. So
Trump calls them both Tyler.
Yeah,
but
so I think I'm looking forward to it.
Aaron
Sorkin, West Wing.
Right, exactly.
I think it's going to be great.
I love the first movie so much, and I think the funny part is like they made Mark Zuckerberg so unlikable in the first movie, right? He, whatever, they made him so unlikable. I think it's gonna be even more interesting to see how they make him even more unlikable, because that's seemingly what has happened since then. I think Zuckerberg might be even looking and going, God, I would kill to have that first image. Now people are, this guy, he's trying to be with the UFC and being like a cool guy, tech bro, whatever. Let's go back to just he was a nerd in a hoodie. Can we go back to that? What happened to that? So anyway.
Well, and they're all under pressure now. All the executives in the tech companies, because they're trying not to offend Trump. I believe.
Right.
Because he could put tariffs on their companies.
Oh, yes.
Do things. So while some of them may have supported him, supported a Democratic candidate in the past, they're now supporting him and giving him money for his inauguration and maybe other things as well. So we'll see how it happens 3 years from now, 5 years from now, what happens. But it'll be a great movie. I'm excited about it.
I hope so. Sorkin is not. He directs too, but he's certainly more known for just the writing part. So we'll see about that. Okay, sticking with Hollywood news, the next James Bond film has found its director in Denis Villeneuve, directing the next James Bond film. He's a French-Canadian director behind the Dune films, and now Amazon MGM Studios bought the James Bond rights last year, and they will be obviously creating the next movie. And they've still yet to cast James Bond, but they have cast their director.
That's right. I don't know. I think he'll be great. I saw both of the Dunes movies. They were really good. In fact, I think I watched both of them twice, more than once, which is rare for me, but I liked it. I thought,
very nice.
I thought they were kind of very, in the way that everything was done, the moving the worms and the way they built up to all the things that happened.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be a good director. But my question is, when are they going to have a Jane Bond?
Hey.
They have James Bond. Will there ever be a woman? And who would it be?
Well,
do you think they should ever have a woman as in that lead role? And
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing about Jane Bond, Jan, is Jane Bond would solve the problem in 20 minutes. There wouldn't be a movie.
Well,
anyway,
maybe there would be. And I thought, well, if you could, looking retro, what would it be like to have had Betty White as James Bond or Joan Rivers? Neither one of you wouldn't suspect either one.
That would have been great.
Just wobbling around.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of ditzy, like they're not going to do anything.
She's roasting the villains. Joan Rivers is roasting the villains.
She could roast the villains or kill them with her satire.
But exactly. Yeah, exactly. With the sharp wit. Think of how much of James Bond is wasted on the nice car, the girls. Take all this waste of time out of the way. Get a woman in the front seat. They're gonna have this movie. They're gonna solve a few movies in one.
Yeah. So anyway, I would if they did, I think like Charlize Theron
or
the woman who was Wonder Woman.
Sure.
Gadot. Is that
Gal Gadot.
Right,
yep.
Gal Gadot.
Yep.
They both, I think, were in Fast and Furious. And they were moving, so they already know how to.
They know how to drive a car.
Drive a fast car.
Certainly.
In a sequence.
But a British actor. Right, so usually it's predominantly
learn a British accent.
That's
Nicole
true. Yeah.
Kidman, she's kind of
Baby Bond, baby girl.
Yeah, so that would be. But anyway, I think time has come.
And the time has come.
I don't know if this is a DEI opportunity that we're not allowed to have, but maybe it's time for a Jane Bond.
I like it.
And not me, definitely not.
Oh, come on.
Although no one would suspect me of.
That's right.
Of being. Able to handle any of those situations.
You'd be getting in there. You'd be a good spy. You'd be a comedian spy.
To do it, yeah. So who would you see as the James Bond?
I like those. I like even as James Bond. James Bond.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesse Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
Would expect
he's
him.
He's gonna wear the IU hat the whole time.
Right.
We're gonna get Jesse Eisenberg.
Right.
He said, "I'm not going to social. I'm not doing Zuckerberg again. I'm doing James Bond."
No one would suspect
from the most nerdy character, from the most charismatic. I thought Idris Elba would be interesting because that was like circulated around a few years ago. He's British, obviously, for the first black James Bond. That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be good. That would be different, right?
It'd be different. I mean, it just have to be. There should be so many. I mean, I want to be in his presence, let alone the women. So I would have to be one of the women around him if they were going to do that. I would definitely want that in my future. And other than that, there's a good plethora of young actors coming up. I mean, even like Joseph Quinn. He's going to be in the Beatles biopic. By Sam Mendes. So
which Beatle is he going to play?
He's going to play George.
George.
Okay. Yeah. So Paul Mescal. So here are the four here. But
Yeah.
These are the 4 gents.
Cast, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, he's tall. This one is tall.
Uh-huh.
Paul Mescal is a great actor. I could see Paul Mescal. Barry Keoghan, he's Irish.
And the third one is going to play Ringo.
And I believe Barry is playing Ringo because Paul is playing Paul. Yeah, so Barry, yep, that's right. Barry is Ringo.
So something else to look forward to.
Indeed.
This time.
But hashtag Jane Bond.
And while we started saying The Deer Hunter was filmed in Cleveland, so was Superman.
Yes.
It's coming out in July.
Yeah.
And so maybe
I'm excited.
It's going to be exciting to see that.
Yeah. Maybe he saves the Russian church.
Maybe he'll be the guy who would play, I don't know who's playing him, but maybe he'll be the next James Bond too.
Superman?
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm looking forward to the summer movies.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Look at that. It's filmed in your hometown.
Stuff, right?
Isn't that pretty cool? That's pretty nice. Yeah, great summer great year for movies, honestly.
Right.
I try to see that.
There's a lot of good movies coming out in the summer. Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park new movie.
A little scary for some people.
I get scared.
So maybe I take it easy on that, Sohile.
That's all right. I'll
take some Valium before you go.
I'll take my Valium. I'll take my steroids and
take all that stuff and
be ready to
do that. Yeah, so it's exciting. The show's coming up.
Well, it's exciting, and I was excited and very happy to have gotten to talk to you today, Jan. Thank you again for your time. I think we'll be good here. So I appreciate you and appreciate everybody watching and listening out there, guys. Again, please show Jan some love. Follow her. Check out her stuff and give her a nice message there. And Jan, hopefully you had a good time.
Okay, thank you, Sohile. Thank you for asking me. It was fun being on this podcast. I'll be looking forward to listening to it again one day.
One day, yeah. He's like, I'll get to it.
On my list of things to do, right?
After Pentagon Papers.
Right, after Pentagon Papers.
You watch this podcast.
I look at videotapes of myself from 10 years ago, and at the time I was upset, and now I go, I was 10 years younger. So maybe 10 years from now I'll look at it and go,
that's how it goes.
Hey, I was 10 years younger.
Indeed.
Anyway, thanks for having me. You were a delightful host, and I know that you have many more of these podcasts to come in the future.
Thank you very much. We'll do it again soon, everybody. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Real quick before you click away, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment below, and subscribe for all future videos. Hit that bell icon to be notified for all uploads. Have a good one.